Hi, how are we doing, guys? Welcome to the football show with Anuj.
Hi
And
guys, hi Vipul. How are you doing?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What have you been doing this week?
Busy with work whenever getting time watching matches. International breaks so saw less matches than usual.
Great, great, great. All right. So we are going to discuss two topics today, and we are going to predict some results in the match week. Did you see the schedule for the Premier League? We have Monday night and Tuesday night games.
Very exciting weekend for football in terms of overall matches. A lot of derbies happening. Scottish derby, then you have the Milan derby, Merseyside derby.
Yes.
Exciting weekend.
Yes. All right. So this news came across me a couple of days back, and the great man Cristiano Ronaldo has been diagnosed with COVID-19 whilst he was on the international duty. So the Portuguese FA had issued a statement that Cristiano Ronaldo is in isolation and he will not take part in any of the upcoming matches and also the club matches as well. So Juventus has been very strict on that. So yeah, he has gotten COVID and he's resting.
So this just goes to show that everyone and anyone can with it like get the virus. Even someone as fit as Cristiano Ronaldo is now diagnosed positive, but we can see that it's not having a large effect. He's watching the matches at home. We cannot see from his face that he has the virus. He's quite relaxed. So this is something that, like we had discussed, we have to get used to the fact that there's no one safe from this virus since it spreads so easily. So it's a good thing that none of the other teammates were detected positive. They went on ahead with their match. They won that match 3-0. And the rest of the players that came back to their teams as well, they are still not positive. So it's a very good thing for all the rest of the Portuguese players. It's a good news for them. And at the same time, wishing a speedy recovery to Ronaldo. The one
Yes,
thing that really caught up from that was the Italian sports minister gave a piece of his mind to Ronaldo, saying he broke a lot of rules in coming from there, from the international match back to Turin, and he broke a lot of rules in that. But Ronaldo issued a statement that the moment he was tested positive, he moved away from his teammates. He was in isolation and then came to Turin in an air ambulance. And straight from that air ambulance, he went home and there was no contact with anyone. He's saying
all
he's
right.
taken all the measures that were supposed to be taken, but it's an ongoing battle between him and the sports minister.
Yeah, we all know what that is all about. So it's always there.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's the thing. In the previous football show, I was discussing there was no need for this international break, to be fair, yeah, and even the previous one. So because whenever we are playing in a league, so we are not traveling by air, we are just traveling by the team bus, which is eventually a bubble for the players, and that helps. And why do you want to play have this international? They are not even qualifying matches; they are just friendlies. All
right.
right, you can push the whatever qualifying matches are left to next year, but this is a bad call which they are taking, and hopefully nothing bad happened. Not many players have been diagnosed, but something can still happen. I think next international break will be in November end maybe,
Yeah.
or they should push that. They should push that since all the tournaments now the teams are going to start flying since Champions League is starting, Europa League is starting. They are eventually going to start flying for home and away matches, which is not that great. But then again, if you add to it the international break, it will be a problem. Yeah. So
It's added risk for all the players, is what it is.
yeah, of course, of course. All right. So this news is connected to Cristiano Ronaldo's team itself, Juventus, and Juventus and Napoli had a match last week, which didn't happen basically, and Napoli failed to show up at Turin for the match at the Allianz Area. The thing is, I'll just brief you about this. If you might know, um, Napoli was supposed to travel. A couple of players were diagnosed in their team a couple of days back, but then they were scheduled to travel to Turin, and at the last moment, their health inspector of their city didn't allow them to travel. And as per the schedule, the team has to be there on the ground. Otherwise, it will be a forfeit, and it will be considered as a forfeit, and the team which is present will get the win, which is what happened. Juventus got a 3-0 win, and also Napoli, since Napoli didn't show up, there was 1 point deduction also, so they might have lost 4 points in the league. So that is it. That rule is basically crazy, but since you and I play FIFA every time, uh, whenever we are losing badly, we try to forfeit the game. It's like it's crazy. But this is first time. This is the first time which has happened with me, and yeah, it's weird. It's weird. You get 3 points for free, basically.
Yeah, definitely. So the judge ruled it in Juventus' favor because according to the rules that FIGC has over there, the federation has, is unless and until it is a circumstance in which it is impossible for a team to appear for the match, the decision will be given in Juventus' favor, and that was not the case for Napoli. Napoli only had two positive cases, and according to the rules, if you have 13 players available for the match, you have to be present. And one of the reason why the judge also gave it in Juventus' favor was because 2 days in the build-up of the match, everyone knew Napoli is not going to come for the match. There was news about it, everyone was talking about it, and even Napoli, in a not direct way, had already informed that they are not going to travel for the match. So that's one of the reasons why the judge ruled it in Juventus' favor, because according to the rules, that's what it is. And President Agnelli also mentioned that according to FIGC protocol, what the health team of Naples did was against their rules. It's not under their control to allow them to travel or not. According to FIGC rules, they have to travel if they have 13 players. So it was a major conflict in terms of rules. I hope they rectify it in the future, because this is something that we could face in the future as well. So some balance has to be found between the medical team and the federation's protocol.
Of course, of course. Let's hope these kinds of things doesn't happen in the future. All right, so let's move on to the match week, and we'll preview 3 matches. The major one is Manchester City versus Arsenal. Yeah, Saturday night game, Saturday evening game, basically. Then the next one which we are going to do is Newcastle versus United, Manchester United. And the third one which we are going to do is Leeds United versus Wolves. So let's start with Man City versus Arsenal.
So I would reading the news yesterday that Kevin De Bruyne is out of the game. I think that's definitely a 1-0 lead for Arsenal indirectly, I would
Of
say.
course, of
And
course.
but then reading that it's a possibility that Aguero might start, so that again shifts the balance
That's
back to
fine.
City's
That's fine.
side.
Since I just read that Kieran Tierney will be available for selection, so I'm okay with that. It's Kevin De Bruyne I'm more worried about than Aguero. Even anybody else in the City team, I don't care.
Definitely.
But yeah, De Bruyne is not playing, which is a major boost for us. And yeah, so I have predicted 2-1 in my preview for
Okay.
Arsenal, and I'm going to stick by it since I did my preview a couple of days back. The way time went, I am getting stronger and stronger towards my result. I get a stronger feeling that we could do it since we have not won at that ground since 2015, and this season might be it. We won't get many seasons, so let's see.
My prediction would be a 1-1 draw, because
Okay,
I'm a massive fan of Emerick Laporte. I think him being for City is a massive boost for them. The defense will definitely look stronger, and Ruben Diaz has, in the match whatever I've seen, he and Laporte are a very good combination. So taking that into consideration, I don't think they would leak a lot of goals, and with Aguero, definitely 1 goal for Aguero. So 1-1 draw, I think would be a fair result.
okay. The next match is Newcastle versus Manchester United. This is let me begin. Did you see the Maguire? Not the mistake, but Maguire has a terrible game last international game.
I think he needs some rest. I think he needs to sit out a few games, get his head into place. I don't think
That
he's
is
getting
what
help from
what
any
we need.
manager.
Of course, of course. This is where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer man management is going to come into play. Uh, let's see whether he's a good man manager or not. If Maguire comes out of this with good form, with good everything, so I don't rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but let's see what happens. So I am predicting a 2-0 win for Newcastle in this match. No goals for United. What is your prediction?
I also go for the school line, but just to make it a bit more interesting, I'll add it to one for Newcastle, one penalty for United, which is
Please don't
given.
say penalty, man. They are going to get penalty in each and every match now. Any which way, last year they got 29 something penalties, 21, 29, whatever. So,
Definitely going
okay.
with
This
that.
season, I think they are already up to four, right? Three penalties they've got.
I think in every match they have been getting a penalty. I've
Yeah.
lost
So
count. I'm not even checking
why,
that
why?
stat.
Maybe that's one of the tactic of their manager. I don't know. It's
I
no
think it,
coincidence that,
I think it's really
yeah,
smart of them because those three front players you have Marshall, Rashford, and Greenwood. They are really good dribblers. So I think the main objective is to get in the box and get those dribbles. So somewhere or the other you might get a foul. So I
so
think
if
in a
you're
way it's a really smart tactic.
all right. For me, when I used to coach my team, I used to always tell the players, the forward players, just interchange your positions. Whenever you are interchanging, obviously one will have the ball and the other will not have the ball. So the player with the ball is obviously going to travel with the ball. In the process, if anybody tries to get the ball inside the box, it's a penalty, and the other player is any which way changing his position. So that's what I think the tactic of United is. I'm not sure. Okay. So 2-0 for me, 2-1 for you in favor of Newcastle, of course.
Yeah.
And the last match is Leeds versus Wolves.
I That's going to be an interesting
Leeds
match. I
at
think
home.
that's more interesting for me than the Arsenal versus City game because both teams are really good in their attack. I would definitely go for a Leeds or 2-0 win because Leeds in terms of their attack have been really good. On the other side, Wolves have looked a bit shaky in the defense since we have seen Adama Traore play on the wing back. They have been exposed from that side a lot. So I would definitely go for a Leeds 2-0 win.
Let me tell you this. All the teams in the Premier League are going to have a tough time traveling to Leeds. That is for sure. And whoever wins at that ground is considered great. That's for sure because they have been excellent on the road, Leeds United, and at home they are always strong. So
Intensity is on another level, their game.
uh, yeah, yeah. That is another example of a well-oiled team, and yeah, let's see what they can achieve this season. We are only what 4 5 games into the season. Let's see. All right, so I'll go in favor of Leeds, 3 goals to 1. Wolves are a dangerous team. Maybe they'll not have time to play on the counter since Adama Traore is playing out of position. They really miss Diogo Jota, that's for sure. The decision to sell him was weird for me, but at the end they got the money, so no complaints. But a bit of swag has been gone from the Wolves play. Let's see if they can capture it back. All right, so this is for this match week. These are the three results we are covering. Let's see how many we get right. Hopefully, the Manchester City versus Arsenal one is right for me. Even a draw, I'll take a draw. But the thing is, Arsenal have been playing so well lately. I'll not be satisfied with a draw, whether it be City or Liverpool. I don't care. Even if we visited Anfield, we wanted a win, not a draw. We are not. It's just the way Arteta plays, and it's the mentality of the fans now. We don't want a draw. We just want to win. Or if the opponent is better than us, okay, we put up a fight. We lose, no worries. Get on. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So match week again, and let's see how this one goes. Thank you, Anuj, for coming onto the show again.
Always my
See you
pleasure.
on. See you next week.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care, guys.